Hello, good afternoon. We are going to be writing about the bugs you created yesterday. So if you haven't done that yet, go back to yesterday's video. You're going to be creating your own bug, and if you already created it, great. Take it out, have your journals ready, and we're going to be doing some writing. Let's get started. So in your journal, open to a brand new page. And then, as always, you're going to start with a date in the corner. I want you to practice putting it in the upper right-hand corner. And then your title goes on that top line in the middle. So today's date is April 23rd, 2020. You can write the short date, which is 4/23/20. And then our title is a new bug. Remember, you created a new bug, and now you're going to be telling me about it. So go ahead, do your date and title. If you need more time, press pause. Otherwise, we are moving on. So in your journal, you're going to be writing on that top line, number 1. And we have 3 questions we'll be going over today. So this is the first one. And the first one is, what does it look like? So you're gonna write, what does it look like? You can pause this for a minute, and then I'll go over an example of what that would look like. So, okay, so you should have that question written down. And then underneath it, you're just going to write some details about what your bug looks like. Now, you don't have to do complete sentences or worry about capitalization or ending punctuation. You're just getting your ideas out onto your paper, and we'll be using them tomorrow to make a paragraph. So today it's just getting the ideas out. So let's take a look at my bug. There she is. And I'm thinking of ways to describe her. Right? She has a pink body. She has 4 yellow legs and 2 yellow claws. She has 2 yellow antennae. She has 6 green and blue wings, and she has sharp teeth. So those are some things I'm going to write down, and I'm going to write them down as bullet points. Let me show you what that looks like. It's a great way to take notes. That's nice and easy. So I'll write a couple ideas down and show you what that looks like. Let me stop sharing. So I wrote pink body, 4 yellow legs, and I'm going to keep adding some more. I want you to do the same thing right now. I want at least 3 details. Even more is better, but at least 3. All right, so pause, make your list describing the bug that you created, and then press play when you're ready to move on. Okay, I finished my list. I had 6 bullet points. Remember, you need at least 3. Okay, so if you have that, it's time to move on to number 2. So I would skip a line so that it's not all jumbled together. You write number 2, and then the question is, where does it live? And describe its home. So write that down. And then I will give you an example with my bug. All right, so I'm gonna pause and write this down too. Okay, so I'm going to look at my bug again. while I think about where it lives. All right. So I'm going to say it lives in the desert, which is a habitat. Now you can pick any habitat, right? There's habitats that include the forest, the savanna, which is like a tropical grassland, a rainforest, the tundra, a big plain like in Africa, up in the Arctic where it's cold. Maybe it lives in a city. Maybe it likes to live in people's houses. So pick a habitat. Oh, I forgot the mountains, by the ocean, the beach, by a lake. It's up to you. You're gonna tell me where it lives. Mine lives in the desert where it's dry and sunny. And since it lives in the desert, I need to think of a specific place where it would live in the desert. I'm going to say she lives in a hole of a cactus. So, there we go. I wrote desert. Then I described the desert, right? It's dry and sunny. And then I said where in the desert she lives. Right? She lives in a hole of a cactus. So I want you to think about your bug, right? Tell me what kind of habitat it lives in, what that habitat is like, and where it lives in that place. You can pause and write that down, and then we'll do our last question. Okay, it's time for question number 3. So skip a line, write 3. And the question is, actually it's 2 questions, but the questions are, what does it do and what does it eat? So what does it do and what does it eat? I'm gonna write that in your journal. I'll hold it up. How about you pause it and write it? Sorry. 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna move on. Okay, so what does it do? What does it eat? I'm gonna look back at my bug and think about this. Now it has wings, so I'm gonna say it flies around. That would be something it does. Also, to protect itself, it makes a stinky smell. Right? Most insects do something to protect themselves, whether it's stinging or biting, even having wings, being able to fly away. So my bug makes a stinky smell. And then what does it eat? Well, it lives in a cactus hole, so I'm going to write that she eats cactus pulp. That would make sense. So I'm going to write those things down in my journal. And then I'll show you. Okay. And so I wrote those 3 things down. Remember, at least 3 things for each question. So I wrote, flies around, makes a stinky smell to keep predators away, and eats cactus pulp. Okay. So hopefully you've answered the 3 questions about your bug, and then put those away in a safe place, because we'll be using all that information tomorrow to write a really great paragraph. That's it for today. You should have a little extra time, so log on to typingclub.com or typing.com. Keep practicing typing, making sure your fingers are on the right buttons so that you can get really good. Right? I don't want to see any of you doing the finger touches. Right? You'll never get fast if you do that. So slow down, learn the right way, and then you can get really good. So, okay, that's it. Have a wonderful day, and stay out of the heat. It's going to be a hot one. All right, bye everyone.